Hey everyone. In today's episode, we will be discussing how to quickly obtain your Illinois real estate broker's license. And I'll list down all of the steps that I used in obtaining my real estate license. I'll also include the fees involved and specific websites and resources that you can use. We'll talk about the timelines and what to do actually after you've passed your exam. Okay. And then lastly, I'll also provide realistic income earnings expectations and whether you should go all in or go part-time at the beginning. So you're going to definitely enjoy this episode. Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome back to the Jon Gil podcast show. We're super excited to have a great topic today where we're going to talk about how to obtain your Illinois real estate license as quickly as possible. And I'm going to list all of the steps that I use for obtaining my license, and that is regarding fees, specific websites you can use for your online education, timelines, and what to do actually after you've passed your real estate exam. So, and I'll also share the biggest reasons why brokers fail the first time they take their exam. In fact, according to ChicagoRealtor.com, 45% of people who take their exam for the first time fail, and we're going to try to help increase those odds for you, okay? And also, I'd like to provide realistic expectations of the income earnings potential and also the typical learning curve of all real estate agents, okay? And whether you should do real estate part-time or full-time. And that's something that I think I get asked a lot about, and so we're going to hit all those subjects today. But before we begin, if you can just please check out our partner, Element Studios. That's EL3MENT Studios. They do great corporate headshots and just amazing real estate photography. Go ahead and check them out. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel, please. Really appreciate that. So let's just dive into it. As most of you are aware or not, I'm a real estate investor. The name of my company is AUM Capital. My business partner and I have been buying real estate since 2013, and we've been buying flips, buy and holds, rental properties is essentially what I mean when I say buy and hold. And I'm also a real estate broker with Gold Bay Advisors. That is a full-service commercial real estate firm based here in Chicago, where we specialize in different multifamily and primarily commercial real estate. Okay. So I'm going to share a little bit of my background and how I got involved in those websites that I used. Now, some of the most frequently questions is, I'd like to invest in real estate. Should I obtain a license first? Or I'm sorry, I'd like to be involved in investing in real estate. So should I obtain my real estate license or should I go straight to it? I hear, I'd like to obtain a real estate license, but I don't know where to begin. And how much money do I actually need to obtain a license? And those are the ones that I get the most. So my job, again, is just to help you answer all of those questions. And so this is directly from the Illinois Realtor website at illinoisrealtors.org. You can also visit their site. They have a great brochure that you can download, and that explains a lot of the information that I'm going to share with you all. But in a nutshell, it's going to cost you so there's actual different costs involved, okay? What I have here is to your actual real estate broker exam is $46. Then there's a $125 broker license application fee. And the variable costs are your pre-licensing, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But that can range between $230 to about $629, depending on the course that you take. So there are actually 3 steps to obtaining your license. Step 1, you're going to complete the required pre-licensing coursework. And step 2, you'll then take a real estate licensing exam. And step 3, you apply for your license. But let's get back onto step 1. Step 1, the pre-licensing, it's a 60-hour course covering real estate concepts such as brokerage, real property, contracts, and real estate math. The course can be taken online, self-study, or in a classroom. So then you also take a broker-applied real estate principles course, and that's a 15-hour course that applies real estate concepts and real-life scenarios. And the website that I recommend for actually taking that course is called Institute Online. and they have 3 different options on their website. They have a flex path that goes for $599, and that you can study at your own pace. They also have another course called the Directed Track, $629, and that's a 5 to 8 week course. Then their third option is the Fast Track, and that runs for $629 also. It is a 2-week course, and the beauty of their site is that they do have a payment option where you can pay $59 a month through a firm. Okay, so again, that's Institute Online, INSTITUT online.com. Now, they are a little bit expensive relative to some of the other companies out there. I did go through them when I originally started taking my real estate courses back in 2009, and that's when I got licensed. There's another company that is more affordable, and actually it's also very good as well, and that is realestateexpress.com. So again, that's realestateexpress.com. And those courses, they're going to run you between $230 to $415. And the beauty of it is they have the same exact information. Just the outline is a little bit different. The way that they set up their courses through their online platform is presented in a slightly different way. However, you're ranging from $230 all the way up to $629. So if you're on a budget, you can definitely take the Real Estate Express course. And once you've completed all of those 75 hours, then you can go and take your state exam. You cannot take your state exam prior to you obtaining this. So very first step, again, you must take the course, okay? And there's a ton of other courses out there as well, or classes out there that you can look into. However, the ones that I've consistently seen the best performers is Institute Online and Real Estate Express, okay? And then that on Institute Express, or Institute Online, that fast track for $629, just for an extra $100, I'd say just take it. You'll get it quickly. You'll be able to get your license in 2 weeks. However, there is they say 2 weeks, but on average, what I've seen, and in fact, let me see here, most people, it takes them about 3 months to actually complete all of these courses. Okay, that's what I've seen on average. And essentially, that's because they have so many other obligations and priorities that it's very difficult to juggle their day-to-day tasks. They've got full-time businesses or full-time jobs, and they're trying to juggle the education with the courses. But anyway, the best part is it's at your own pace, and I would just try to get that going as quickly as possible, because what ends up happening is if you take your time, you end up losing that drive and that passion, and it just kind of fades out, right? And I've seen it a ton of times. So just when you take it, you go. Anyway, let's continue. Step 2, after you've completed your courses, you're going to take your real estate licensing exam, and that is administered by PSI/AMP. Okay, and you can actually go ahead to their website at www.goamp.com, and that will allow you to register. Now, the state exam, it's pretty interesting. They have 150 multiple choice questions. About 105 of these are national questions, and 45 are state-specific questions. Okay, and you'll have 3.5 hours to complete the test, and a score of 75% is required to pass. So you say to yourself, well, 75% isn't too bad. But again, according to the Illinois Realtor website, you have a 45% success rate, which means more than likely you may fail the first time you take it. So what is the secret sauce to actually passing the state exam? Here it is. On the website itself, you are going to want to, and it's actually, when you go to the website, it's a little tricky. So follow the steps here closely. You'll go to goamp.com. You're going to click on the candidates link, okay? Then you're going to click on a category, real estate. Second, under program, you're going to choose the Illinois Examination Program. Illinois Examination Program. Number 3, under examination, you're going to click on broker examination. And that is where you're going to find a bunch of different options to choose from. And that's actually where you go to actually take and register your test, your state exam. But prior to you taking that state exam, make sure that you order the practiced tests. Okay? There's a link that says order practice tests. A lot of people fail to do this. And what happens is you're expecting the day of the state exam to just have your regular multiple choice questions, right? Choose A, B, C, or D. Now, the problem is the state exam has it in such a way where and this happened to me, by the way. So when I went in for this was back in 2009, I went in thinking that, okay, I can just go ahead and it's going to be multiple choice. Great. So I passed the first section of the exam. Now, when it came to the second, they were implementing this new platform, and I was actually the first guinea pig to take it. So they don't have a multiple choice, but you can choose all of the answers that you feel is best. And so when you click on that answer, on another screen, there'll be a prompt that just has another answer to your, and it'll have a reply to your answer, but it doesn't say if it's incorrect or not. So the bottom line is, if you take the if you pay for the order practice tests on GoAMP's website, they will allow you to take the test in that specific format, so you're prepared, and it definitely will increase your odds. So what I did was I called up actually after the state when I failed the test, and I had passed the national or the state portion, but I failed the federal portion. And I had called and I said, what the hell just happened here? I was not expecting this sort of different format. And that's when they said, oh, well, you are the first group to take this new exam on this specific outline. So they said, take the exam, take the practice tests, and that should help you out. That's what I did. Lo and behold, I was able to pass 24 hours later. I mean, it was that easy. So you're going to take the National Real Estate Broker Multiple Choice Assessment. That's $25. And the National Real Estate Broker Multiple Choice, and that's $15. So if we're talking about fees, again, we're at your pre-licensing is going to be between $230 and $630. And then you're going to take the state exam courses. That's another $25 to $15. Okay, so for budgeting purposes, you're going to want to know all of this. And then lastly, when you actually take your exam with the state, it's about a $46 broker exam fee and a $125 broker application fee after you've passed. Okay, so let us continue. We are now done. You've completed your pre-licensing. You've passed your state exam. And last but not least, you just have to apply for a license, and that is the fees that I mentioned earlier. And the licenses are issued by the Illinois Department of Financial Professional Regulation. That's the IDFPR. So that's what it is. That entire process is going to take you approximately 3 months. I was able to get my license in about a month. But I was consistently studying. Every morning I would study for 2 hours. Okay, I would go to school. After school, I would study for 2 hours. And then after that, I would go to work. So you just have to you have to just organize your time accordingly. Now, let's talk about what are the realistic income expectations after you've passed and you have your real estate license. Well, according to ZipRecruiter, Chicago brokers make on average between $39,000 to $150,000 a year. Okay, and now PayScale says it's between $19,000 to $100,000, and Google says that it is between. Google says that actually it is that the average income is around $51,000. So what I made my first year as a real estate broker in 2009, and that was during the Great Real Estate Recession, or during the Great Recession, I should say. I made about $35,000, okay, on my first year, and it wasn't easy. In fact, I didn't close a deal for the first 6 months. All right. It's very tough. And I was going to school at the time. So, and I was actually in a brokerage that sold discounted real estate. So I should have had an advantage because I'm selling bank-owned real estate, right? However, it's not as easy as everyone says. You really do have to put in the work, okay? So be prepared to just hustle. And some of the key things that I recommend everyone to do to increase their likelihood of being successful in this business is just get yourself a mentor, okay? You're going to want to make sure that you're setting up your brokerage at a place that has, that you're hanging your license with a place that has leads and referrals. You're going to want to inform all of your friends and family through social media, through text messaging, and just through basic email that you are now licensed, okay? One thing that I see a lot of people do is they focus first on making the most amount of commission. So they'll choose a brokerage that has maybe a higher split, but doesn't really offer many resources, okay, like referrals or tools to help you learn. That's a big mistake. You definitely want to set yourself up in a place that has that even though you're taking slightly less, you do have the ability to make more money in the long term just through the referrals that they're providing you. All right. What I did also is, and what I also recommend is, you should probably be a receptionist at the place you're working when you start, because that gives you access to all of those phone calls. That's what I did. All the calls that came in, I would pick up. Yes, I'm interested in the property at, here, here, here. Oh, okay. Are you being represented at the moment? No. Okay. Well, hey, let's meet up for some coffee, and we can definitely set up the showing for you. But that helps you build the relationships. And in fact, I would say that the majority of my clients, that's how I got. And about 10 years later, those are probably some of my best clients. And that was just from picking up the phone and helping other brokers out, and just helping the firm that I was out, answering the phone calls. So it seems simple. A lot of people don't want to do that, because they feel like they're going down to, not to bash on a receptionist position, how there's a lot of value in that. But, they feel like, I've put in all this work, I don't want to be a receptionist. I'm telling you, that could be the holy grail. That might be the ticket for you getting your first lead, okay? And another great way to just increase the likelihood of just having tons of success in this business is going to different networking events. Now, be careful with the type of networking events that you're going to, because everyone goes to these real estate networking events where they're meeting a lot of the same people that are looking for the exact same things that they are. They're looking for clients. I would say try to go to networking events that are outside of the real estate industry, so that then you become the go-to guy in the real estate industry. Okay, so I don't know, go to a culinary networking event, go to a computer programming networking event, and you become the go-to guy. Another great way is just setting up, if you go to meetup.com, you can actually host events and teach them about real estate investing, etc. Now you are the host, and people then come to you for advice, and that's another great way to just build relationships. And one of the last points that I want to make, should you go in full-time or part-time when you start off in real estate? That really just depends upon your schedule, okay? So if you have the time to go all in, great. But that's going to, you're basically, if you go all in, you want to make sure that you have the cash reserves to cover about 3 to 6 months, okay, of all of your monthly expenses. If you don't have that, don't quit your day job, right? And my personal opinion is that you should dabble first a little bit in the real estate after you got in your license. Don't quit your job. And then after you've done maybe your first or second deal, you should then probably go in full time, okay? And that will be probably the best way. Again, if you don't have the budget, if you don't have the reserves, it's going to just be difficult. And, if you haven't had success right away, that might leave you a bad taste in your mouth, and you'll say, screw it. What did I do? I'm out of this, and I'll just go back to my full-time job. So again, just kind of dabble first. But some of the people that I've seen that has the most success are the ones that do actually go in, and because at that point you have nothing else left, right? You just have to make it work, and so you're willing to work a little harder to get that next deal. So that's really it, guys. I mean, I think that sums up what it takes to get your real estate license. The timeline, the fees involved, the likelihood of success in the business. And if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. And if you like what you've heard, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, the Jon Gil Podcast Show, where we discuss strategies in real estate, investing, and mindset. And if you can, please go ahead and visit our partner, Element Studios, EL3, MENTstudios.com. They do great corporate headshots and real estate photography.